What's up, everybody? Just decided to make a little video today about some new toys that I just got that I'm going to show off in just a second. But let me just give you a little background first about this piece that I'm holding in my hand right here. As you can see, this is a Glock 21 45 Auto or 45 ACP. Literally the first gun I ever bought as a gun owner. I've had this thing since 2008. This was the start of my journey as a gun owner. This thing probably has somewhere between 1 and 2,000 rounds over it. And I know that's not a lot over the amount of years that I've owned it, but again, it is a 45. It is the first gun I ever bought, wasn't the last, obviously. And used to actually carry this piece concealed for quite a while, too. I did retire it probably about 2 years or so ago. And it's just basically been sitting around. Haven't actually shot it in a few years either, for that matter. And yeah, it's just kind of been forgotten about until recently. Because I just got me an extendo, hey! No, I actually did get me a couple of these. Because, I see everybody on social media and the gun forums, and they love their extendos. And I mean, man, I just had to get me one too. I had to get me a couple too, because these things are fight. No, I'm playing. I freaking hate these things. I've never been a fan of extended magazines and handguns. Personally, I think they look stupid as hell. And there's again, in my humble opinion, I think these things are kind of dumb to put in just a basic handgun like this. But of course, I decided to get them for a particular reason. Yeah, so I've been seeing these for quite a while on social media and various forums and YouTube and stuff. By the way, if anybody wasn't familiar, this is a CAA MCK Gen 2, also known as the Ronies. This is mine. I actually just picked it up as of the date this video is made. This is Saturday, the 5th or something like that. I think it's the 5th. Yeah, Saturday the 5th. Yeah, I think I actually just got it the day before yesterday. It just showed up. Cool story, place that I ordered it from. I actually ordered it Wednesday evening, and it showed up on my doorstep Friday morning. Considering this is, the beginning of December during the year of the Corona apocalypse, that's damn fast shipping. Anyway, so yeah, I got this because my old trusty Glock 21 that has been basically relegated to sitting in the safe for a couple years, hasn't even been fired in I don't know how many years. I decided to give it a new lease on life and repurpose it to use inside the Roni, or the MCK Gen 2. And I'm just going to talk about it for a little bit because, again, I've been seeing all kinds of stuff on the internet about these for a while. Personally, I always thought they were ugly as sin, and I was very apprehensive about getting one in the first place because, I didn't really see a need for it. I didn't really see what it would do for me. But, I decided, what the hell? They're not very expensive. They're actually relatively affordable. I actually picked this one up while Black Friday sales were still going on. And it was, $239 before tax and shipping. And it was basically like $250 shipped to my door. It's pretty sweet. But anyway, yeah, these are basically a chassis that you can install Glocks into to essentially convert it to a pistol caliber carbine or a PCC subgun, whatever you want to call it. Still technically a pistol because it has this wonderful little folding brace right here, which is a somewhat soft polymer. Not somewhat soft. It's comfortably soft, hard polymer. Oh, that sounds so bad. It's fine. It's nice and comfy on the end, very rubberized here. A little harder right here, but it's fine. Anyway, let's talk about this thing. So, yeah, I'm probably not going to make this look very smooth and very efficient. Again, I've only had it for basically 2 days at this point. So just roll with me here. But long story short, you fit your pistol inside this frame here. and I'll just kind of show you what it looks like on the inside. This little plastic piece right here is basically an ambidextrous charging handle, one on the right, one on the left. Your pistol slide serrations actually fit inside this plastic piece. Maybe you'll be able to see it here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's some serrations that correspond with your slide serrations on the inside of this piece right here. Essentially what happens is you take your pistol. I'm going to try to do this the best I can. If I struggle, just bear with me. But you take your pistol, insert it in here like so, and then basically you just have to, there we go. You fit it into the plastic piece, slide it forward until it clicks like so. And what happens is there's like a little catch right here that actually catches in your frame rail where you normally mount your lights and lasers and such. It catches in there, locks it into place. It's actually in there quite snug when you do that. Then you have this locking piece in the rear. It is plastic. You close it. There's a red tab right there. And then you just take this little tab and slide it forward. As you see, red indicator means you're locked in. And at this point, your pistol is installed in the chassis. You can run the charging handle. Pistol is clear, by the way. There's your empty chamber. But yeah, you can run the charging handle. Works on both sides. You do have a folding brace. It locks into place using this little hook right here. You have to lift it slightly for it to catch, and then it just catches right in there. Folds into a nice little compact package. So this is the frame specifically for Glock 21s and 20s, which is denotated by, hopefully you can see it here, yeah, right there, onto this nice little barrel shroud, 2021. These things actually come with a placeholder for a flashlight. Now I opted not to get the flashlight on mine, but it's just a little blank plastic piece. It is removable. You can just pinch these tabs and pull this right out, and they actually sell a flashlight that fits right into this slot and has actuations on both sides where when you're holding this thing you can just actuate it with your thumb, since your hand rests normally right there, or if you're righty, right there. So yeah, anyway, it does come with side rails. These are polymer on both sides. I have an Olight PL Pro Valkyrie attached right here. This top rail is metal. It is aluminum. It is bolted into place. Yeah, so anyway, pull it up and then you can unfold it like so. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Flat Dark Earth model, by the way. This is the Gen 2, as if I didn't say that enough already in the beginning. Basically the 9mm models and the 40 cal models, they have a friction fit, or not friction fit, that's Gen 1, my bad. The Gen 2s actually have a mag catch right here, and you can put basically spare mags in this little area right here. In the 20 and 21 model, they do not fit. It does not fit. So basically they included this little polymer adapter piece here that you can just install like so. It does lock into place with your catch right here. And all this is essentially is a spare mag holder. You can put your spare mags in. They lock into place as well. And it does have a mag release that drops free. Again, this piece is plastic. Does wobble quite a bit. It doesn't feel particularly sturdy, but it is completely optional. So you can run it, you don't have to. Either way, they give you the option. And I guess it's better to have the option than not, right? Anyway, you have a cutout for your slide release right here. Let's see, what else? Anyway, on this particular model, or on mine, I actually have a older little Holosun HS. I think this is the 403 or 406, one or the other, mounted up here. This is a 30mm red dot. It's actually a pretty nice red dot. I've had this thing, you can see the wear on it. I've beat the piss out of it, but I've had this red dot for probably about 4 or 5 years now, and it is still going strong. Still works, shake to wake feature. It's great. Mount is not QD, but I mean it's solid. It works. It's a nice little red dot, and coupled with this PL Pro bright ass light, it does have a kind of like a ergonomic angled foregrip right here. So when you grab this thing, it's actually quite comfortable to hold. If you had the integral light, your thumb just kind of naturally rests on the spot where you would be able to actuate the light and turn it on and off. So that's a pretty neat little feature. But other than that, again, it is quite comfortable. The biggest complaint I have about this thing so far, again, I've only had it for like about 2 days. I haven't shot it yet, unfortunately, but just handling the thing, the biggest complaint I have so far is basically in this area right here. This polymer, bit sharp. It is not well-rounded. It's not chamfered. It's quite sharp. So when you're holding this thing, if you're not wearing gloves, this polymer will dig into your skin quite a bit. Yeah, it's not very comfortable here toward the rear, and yeah, this whole back part is quite uncomfortable to hold. So I would imagine if you're going to shoot this thing for long periods or extended shooting sessions, you're probably going to want to wear some gloves. Other than that, the entire thing is quite ergonomic, save for that little aspect right there. It's very lightweight, and that's one thing that I really, really like about this thing. It is extremely lightweight. Now, we know Glocks aren't heavyweights in the pistol world in and of themselves, so I really like that if you install this chassis on your pistol, it still remains very lightweight, still very easy to hold and manipulate with one hand. The beauty of it is, of course, it has the stabilizer, so it will allow you to run your pistol far more accurately than you would be able to with your traditional, two-handed grip or whatever. That's not how I hold it. That's just demonstration, whatever. But yeah, anyway, this thing will allow you to deploy your pistol far more accurately and precisely than you would otherwise. And that brings me back to these. Again, this pistol was pretty much languishing away. It wasn't getting used, so I decided to repurpose it for this role exclusively. It will be living inside this chassis from now on. It will probably not come out. This will probably be a truck gun, or it might even be a home defense gun going forward. Not quite 100% sure how I'm going to set it up. This is very tentative as far as the current way that I have it configured. This red dot might go. I might install some backup sights. This light might go. But as of right now, this is just how I'm going to play with it until I get completely used to it and satisfied with it. But again, it's a pretty neat concept. I really, I mean, personally, I wouldn't use this interchangeably. And what I mean by that is, like, I wouldn't buy this thing if, you only have a single Glock or a single handgun and you're going to be taking it in and out of the chassis on a regular basis. I probably would not do that. If you're getting it just so a particular pistol that you have, maybe you have a bunch, but maybe a particular pistol that you have is going to be living in this thing full time, I think, at least in my opinion, there's probably a better use for this thing than, pulling it in and out. Because the one thing that I can't help but think of is, say, for example, you had this thing with you and you got into a situation where you needed to use it and your pistol was not already in there. What's the fucking point? You know? I mean, I'm not like, I didn't give you the quickest demonstration in the world when it came to inserting it and, deploying it, but it's probably not something you're going to want to do in the heat of the moment if you're getting into a gunfight or having to defend your home or your vehicle when you're whatever. But it's probably not going to work for you. You'd probably be dead if you're going to depend on it to be used in that sort of fashion. But as a truck gun, on the other hand, if this thing is already in the chassis, it actually stores away very compact. Because once this stock, or excuse me, it's not a stock, once this stabilizer is folded, it's a very compact package, of course, assuming you don't have this long-ass magazine in there. So, yeah, it's a very compact package, extremely light. Of course, you could always run a smaller red dot, but this is just what I have on here for now. You could always run a smaller light or the integral light that you could purchase for this thing. But, again, very compact package, extremely lightweight. This would probably easily fit under the seat of a car or in the back seat of a truck or a vehicle or whatever. It would make a wonderful truck gun, a wonderful bedstand or nightstand gun, possibly. It would basically excel in that role, and it would give you a much more realistic reason, in my opinion, to use one of these, um, especially use it effectively, because this is, again, a 45 ACP, so there's 26 rounds in this magazine. So 26 plus 1 of 45 ACP. Especially you got the good stuff in there. That's gonna be a pretty effective little package, if you ask me. And if you have like the 9mm models, I believe these uh, extended magazines hold upwards of like 33 rounds. I think the 40 cals and the 10mm hold 30. I mean, you can deploy these very effectively and use these pretty much as you would any PCC or subgun, which I think is how it was intended to be used. But overall, what do I think about this thing? I think it's pretty cool so far. I think it's pretty cool. It definitely gave a new lease on life on a gun that I was not using already. Probably going to update it and change some things around, but I think the concept is pretty cool. I do like it a lot. Um, Again, the only ergonomic shortcoming that I can come up with so far is just this really rough area back here in the back. It just does not feel good. If your hand is rubbing up against it, you see here my natural grip, your thumb is going to come into contact with this area quite a bit, and this little edge right here and back here is going to rub against your shit, and it's probably not going to feel good once you start really shooting this thing. And if you're a righty, about the same thing, this little edge right here and then back here, it's going to wear you out back here. So some gloves probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Other than that, the charging handle I think is great. You can still access the slide release. You can attach lights, lasers on the side rails, optics on the top, backup sights on the top. You can run this thing as you would any other PCC. And considering the price of it, it retails for I think what, 300 or 315 bucks, but on sale you can find them pretty easily for well under that. I think they were going for $275 street price before Black Friday. Again, I got mine for $240 before tax and shipping. I think that's a great deal considering what you get. But again, I do think it's probably a good idea to have a specific role in mind for this thing. Again, if you're going to get one and use one, my humble opinion, you probably want to have a dedicated pistol that's going to be living in this thing, or at least be used with it exclusively, as opposed to something that you're going to be pulling in and out, and that just doesn't make sense to me. But again, my opinion. But again, I think it's a neat concept. I like it. I don't regret the purchase at all. I've just been kind of playing around with it a little bit, practicing with it. Again, it's extremely lightweight. This would be something that I think, if you're a weaker shooter or maybe somebody who's maybe recoil sensitive, I do think the fact that you would have a third contact point, and a stabilizer would probably help, if that is something that concerns you. For women, younger shooters, children, this would probably be a nice way to get them interested, as opposed to just regular ass handgun, I guess. Because again, it does give you the opportunity to be more accurate. It's probably going to be a little more comfortable to shoot. Again, 3 contact points, and if you have a plan for this thing and a role in mind for it, I think you can utilize it quite effectively. I know I intend to. But yeah, I think, again, it's pretty cool. This is my first handgun extended mag. These are SGM tactical mags. Again, this is the 45 ACP Glock 21. 26 plus 1 rounds of 45 ACP. That's nothing to sneeze at, folks. That's nothing to sneeze at all. Anyway, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I guess, hey, like and subscribe like everybody else says, but hey, it's all good. Oh yeah, just, quick disclaimer. I'm just a regular dude. I do this for a hobby. I don't do this for monetization or anything like that. This is just me doing something that I like to do. So, hey, if you like it, cool. I appreciate it. You want to comment? Hey, cool. I appreciate it. It's all good. But yeah, feel free to discuss, ask questions, whatever. It's all good either way. If you've used these things and you have experiences with it, hey, feel free to leave it in the comments. Share your experience. But, whenever whenever I can actually find some 45 ACP and get out and go shoot this thing, I will. I've got a few boxes of this crap right here that I've been holding on to for a few years. It's just basic planking ammo. Probably going to try to run a few hundred rounds through it while it's in the chassis here. Test it out, see how it feels, and go from there. But yeah, I'm kind of digging it so far. Again, minor gripes back here. I think maybe a nice pair of gloves will probably fix that. But this is probably the biggest gripe that I have about it. It feels like shit back here. I can't lie. But other than that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anyway, have a good one, folks.